Right now, at this very moment, a massive winter storm is exploding across America. And I mean exploding. In just 7 hours, this system will transform from almost nothing into one of the most dangerous weather events of the decade. 40 states are in the crosshairs. Millions of people will lose power. Interstate highways will become parking lots of stranded vehicles. And the question you need to ask yourself right now is, are you ready? Because by 2 p.m. today, while you are watching this, the storm will already be underway. Rain is breaking out around Dallas and Austin right now, flying northward toward the Red River Valley. But here is the twist that makes this storm so dangerous. That rain is hitting air so cold on the surface that it is instantly freezing. We are talking about a prolific icing event that will coat everything, power lines, trees, roads, in a thick layer of ice. By 7 p.m. tonight, Interstate 20 between Big Spring and Dallas will be a nightmare. I am not exaggerating. Decent ice will be falling in Oklahoma City, sleet will hammer Wichita Falls and Childress, and moderate to heavy snow will work from Woodward up to Wichita all the way to Hays in Kansas. And here is the part that will shock you. Right now, Kansas City and Little Rock are seeing nothing. Blue skies, calm conditions, but wait just 6 more hours. At 1 a.m. Saturday morning, Kansas City will have snow. Little Rock will have snow. In fact, Little Rock might start off with a thumping of snow, those big, heavy, wet flakes that pile up fast before switching to sleet by 3 a.m. The same thing will happen in the Choctaw Nation in southeast Oklahoma. But Tulsa, Fort Smith, and Bentonville will stay all snow, massive amounts of it, all the way up to Joplin. Now, let me tell you about Oklahoma City, because this is where it gets interesting. It is going to be extremely difficult to figure out if you stay all snow or not. The models are showing some sleet mixing in, but I actually think the models might be a little bit too warm. There is a very good chance Oklahoma City stays all snow throughout the entire duration of this event. That could mean 10 to 12 inches of pure snow. Dallas, I have different news for you. I do not think you will see any snow at all. This is going to be a sleet and freezing rain event. And by 7 a.m. Saturday morning, travel will be treacherous, absolutely treacherous, from Brownwood to Waco, all the way up to Dallas and Wichita Falls, even over to Tyler and Shreveport. I would not want to be on Interstate 20 or Interstate 35 tomorrow morning. That would be a literal nightmare. But before I tell you about the cities getting the most snow, and trust me, some places are looking at over a foot, let me ask you this. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your city or state in the comments below, and I will give you a personalized forecast update. Seriously, comment your location right now, because in 30 seconds, I am going to reveal which city is going to get buried under potentially 18 inches of snow, and you need to know if it is yours. Let me take you back to Arkansas. By 7 a.m. Saturday, we are going to have heavy snow from Tulsa over to Little Rock. Now it is moving into Memphis. That is right. Memphis is going to start off as snow, and then I think that will switch over to sleet and freezing rain by 2 p.m. Saturday. But just north of Memphis, in Jonesboro, Arkansas, maybe even over toward Nashville, we are going to start off with a thumping of snow. 3 inches of snow will fall very quickly in Nashville before we switch over to sleet and freezing rain. My neighbors in Pikeville, Kentucky, your snow is going to start probably around 2 p.m. tomorrow. The radar will look like it is snowing before that, but it will be evaporating before it hits the ground. We are going to fully saturate the atmosphere and actually start seeing snow accumulating by 2 p.m. Same thing for Lexington, Cincinnati, up to Indianapolis. But back in St. Louis, it will have been snowing for hours at this point already. Light to moderate snow will continue in St. Louis by 2 p.m. Now let me jump to the evening on Saturday, 7 p.m. We still have moderate to heavy snow across the entire region. The precipitation is going to be intense across southern Indiana, central Indiana, all of southern and central Ohio. Snow totals are going to add up quickly. And remember, this is not going to be that light, fluffy snow that is easy to shovel. This is going to be heavy, wet snow that weighs down power lines and tree branches. Here is what is going to happen next, and this is critical. As we go through Saturday night into Sunday morning, the storm is going to phase. What does that mean? 2 separate weather systems are going to merge together, and when they do, the storm is going to intensify rapidly. This is when cities on the East Coast need to pay very close attention. By Sunday morning, snow will be falling heavily from Virginia up through Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and into New England. We are talking about snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. If you live in these areas, Sunday morning is when you need to be off the roads completely. Now let me give you the snow totals city by city, and these are realistic forecasts based on the latest data. Bentonville, Arkansas, you are definitely getting a foot of snow. Tulsa, close to a foot, maybe 10 to 12 inches. Oklahoma City, 10 to 12 inches. Wichita Falls, 8 inches. Dallas, less than an inch of snow, but you will see a lot of ice, and that ice is far more dangerous than snow. St. Louis, you are on the northwest side of this storm. It is not going to snow very heavily, but it is going to snow moderately and lightly for a very long time. At the end of it, you are going to look outside and maybe 7 to 8 inches of snow will be sitting out there. Joplin, closer to 9 inches. Indianapolis, 8 inches. Fort Wayne, back up to Chicago, 1 to 4 inches is possible for you. Now let me move south. Nashville, Tennessee, 2 to 4 inches of snow, followed by a significant amount of ice that could cause power and travel problems for days. Not hours. Days. Clarksville, Tennessee, 5 to 6 inches. Bowling Green, 5 to 7 inches. Memphis, 2 to 4 inches, pretty much the same exact story as Nashville, with sleet and a big problem with freezing rain. Little Rock, literally the same exact story. Lexington, Kentucky, this is going to be tough. The forecast shows 11 inches, but I think it is possible we get a little bit less than that because warm air advection riding on the northwest side of the Appalachian Mountains probably is undermodeled a little bit. So I would not be surprised if we only get somewhere between 6 and 9 inches of snow in Lexington. Pikeville, Kentucky, I think we could see anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of snow, but we also have to worry about maybe up to a quarter inch of ice. At one point, we could have 6 inches of snow on the ground, but 2 inches of it are going to get washed away by rain. Same thing for Charleston, West Virginia. Here is the part that is going to blow your mind. The Northeast could go absolutely bonkers. The national blend of models shows potentially close to 2 feet of snow in Boston, over 13 inches in New York City, 15 inches in Scranton, 18 inches in Syracuse, all the way up to 15 inches in Rutland. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because I think this is possible. The model we just looked at was more conservative. It does not show as much phasing. It does not show as much strengthening with that coastal low-pressure system. If we do get that strengthening, which is very common in these kinds of storms, and we stay all snow in places like New York City, I think 13 to 18 inches is going to be possible in that corridor between New York City and Boston. But wait, this is where the story takes an even darker turn. After this storm is done, winter is here to stay for a long time, potentially weeks. The 6 to 10 day outlook shows below average temperatures staying in place for everywhere east of the Rockies for the foreseeable future. It is going to be way below average even in Florida, but especially in the Tennessee Valley, Ohio Valley, over toward the Mid-Atlantic, the Appalachian Mountain region. It is just going to be an ice box. And here is what is going to happen. More storms are going to come and interact with that cold air. There is already another signal for another significant southern and eastern winter storm coming right after this one. I am not going to talk about it in detail yet. We are going to take this one storm at a time. But make sure you stay tuned because we are going to have updates on it. Now, let me walk you through what you need to do right now to prepare, because preparation is the difference between riding this storm out safely and becoming a statistic. First, charge every device you own, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, external battery packs, everything. When the power goes out, and it will go out for many of you, these devices will be your lifeline to emergency information. Second, fill your bathtub with water, not for drinking, but for flushing toilets and washing hands. Also fill every pitcher, pot, and bottle you have with drinking water. If power goes out, water treatment plants might stop working and you could lose water pressure. Third, move your car into the garage if you have one. If you do not have a garage, park it away from trees and power lines. Ice weighing down branches will snap them off and they will fall on whatever is underneath them. Your car, your house, maybe even you if you are outside. Fourth, bring all your outdoor furniture, decorations, and garbage cans inside or secure them. The wind is going to pick up as this storm intensifies, and anything loose will become a projectile. Fifth, check on your elderly neighbors, your neighbors with small children, your neighbors who might have medical conditions. Make sure they are prepared. Make sure they have enough medication to last a week without being able to leave their house. Sixth, go to the grocery store right now if you have not already. But do not panic buy. Get the essentials. Bread, milk, eggs if you have a way to cook them without power, canned goods, batteries, flashlights, candles, matches, a manual can opener. And here is something most people forget. Baby wipes. If you lose water, baby wipes are going to be a godsend. Seventh, if you have a fireplace, stock up on firewood. If you have a generator, make sure it is in working condition and you have enough fuel. And this is critical. Never run a generator inside your house, garage, or any enclosed space. Carbon monoxide will kill you faster than the cold will. Eighth, identify the warmest room in your house. This will be your survival room if you lose heat. Close off the rest of the house to conserve warmth. Hang blankets over doorways. Put towels at the base of doors to stop drafts. Wear layers, including a hat because you lose most of your body heat through your head. Ninth, have a plan for cooking without power. If you have a gas stove, you might be able to light the burners with a match. If you have a grill, move it away from the house at least 10 feet before you use it. Never, and I mean never, use a grill indoors. See my point about carbon monoxide above. 10th, know where your main water shut-off valve is. If your power goes out for an extended period and your house gets cold enough, your pipes could freeze and burst. If that happens, you need to be able to shut off the water immediately to prevent flooding. Now let me tell you about something that most weather forecasts will not mention. The psychological toll of being trapped in your house during a major winter storm. Cabin fever is real. Have board games ready. Have books ready. Have activities for your kids. Download movies and shows to your devices while you still have internet. Because once the power goes out, your entertainment options will be limited. And here is something else to think about. Your pets. Make sure you have enough food for them. Make sure they have a warm place to sleep. If you have outdoor pets, bring them inside now. No exceptions. This cold is going to be brutal and animals can freeze to death just as easily as humans can. Let me give you specific timeline breakdowns for the hardest hit areas because timing is everything in storm preparation. If you are in Dallas, Fort Worth, or anywhere in North Texas, your window is closing fast. The freezing rain is going to start this afternoon, and by tonight, roads will be impassable. If you have not already stocked up, you need to do it in the next 2 hours. After that, it is too late. If you are in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, or anywhere in Oklahoma, you have a little more time, but not much. Your snow is going to start late tonight and continue through Saturday. Do your preparation today. Do not wait until tomorrow morning. If you are in Arkansas, particularly northwest Arkansas around Bentonville and Fayetteville, you are going to get hammered. A foot of snow is no joke, especially in a region that does not see snow like this very often. Your snow is going to start Friday night and continue through Saturday. Have everything ready by 6 p.m. today. If you are in Kansas City, St. Louis, Indianapolis, or Cincinnati, your snow is going to start late Friday night and continue through Sunday. You have today to prepare. Use it wisely. If you are in Nashville, Memphis, or anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, you are going to get a complicated mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. This mix is actually worse than straight snow because the ice is going to cause massive power outages. Prepare for being without power for several days. If you are in Kentucky, West Virginia, or Southern Ohio, you are in a similar situation to Tennessee. Snow changing to ice with widespread power outages likely. The rugged terrain in these areas makes power restoration slower because repair crews have difficulty reaching damaged equipment. If you are in Pennsylvania, New York, or New England, your storm is coming Sunday. You have Friday and Saturday to prepare. Do not waste this time. Go to the store Saturday morning, get your supplies, do your preparation Saturday afternoon. Because Sunday morning, when that snow starts falling at 1 to 2 inches per hour, you are not going anywhere. Now let me tell you about the dangers you need to watch out for during the storm. First, carbon monoxide poisoning. I already mentioned this, but it bears repeating because it is one of the top killers during winter storms. Never run a generator, grill, or any combustion device inside an enclosed space. The carbon monoxide will build up silently and kill you in your sleep. Second, hypothermia. If your heat goes out and you cannot keep your house warm enough, hypothermia can set in faster than you think, especially for the elderly and young children. Watch for signs: shivering, confusion, slurred speech, drowsiness. If you see these signs, add more layers, drink warm liquids if you can heat them, and huddle together for warmth. Third, heart attacks. Shoveling heavy, wet snow is one of the leading causes of heart attacks during winter storms. If you have any heart condition, do not shovel snow yourself. Get a younger, healthier person to do it. And if you do shovel, take frequent breaks, lift with your legs, not your back, and stop immediately if you feel any chest pain or shortness of breath. Fourth, power line dangers. If you see a downed power line, assume it is live and stay at least 30 feet away. Call the power company immediately. Do not try to move the line yourself. Do not try to move anything that is touching the line. And here is something that surprises people. If a power line falls on your car while you are in it, stay in the car and call for help. The car's rubber tires insulate you from the ground. Only exit if the car is on fire. And if you must exit, jump clear without touching the car and ground at the same time. Fifth, driving on ice. This is where most injuries and deaths occur during winter storms. Ice is not like snow. You cannot drive slowly on ice and be safe. You cannot brake on ice. You cannot turn on ice. Your vehicle has zero traction. If you absolutely must drive on ice, and I mean absolutely must, go slower than you think you need to, brake earlier than you think you need to, and turn slower than you think you need to. But honestly, the best advice is do not drive on ice at all. Here is the reality. Some of you watching this are going to ignore these warnings. You are going to think it will not be that bad, or I have driven in snow before, or I just need to run to the store real quick. And some of you are going to end up stranded on the highway or in a ditch, or worse. I am begging you, do not be that person. Stay home. Now, let me give you state-by-state impacts because I promised you forecasts for 40 states, and I always keep my promises. And this is at the 5-minute mark, exactly when I said I would deliver this information. Texas. North Texas gets the worst of it. Dallas, Fort Worth, Wichita Falls, all looking at significant icing. Austin and San Antonio stay mostly rain. Houston stays rain. El Paso stays dry. Lubbock and Amarillo get snow, maybe 6 to 8 inches. Oklahoma, this is ground zero. Oklahoma City, 10 to 12 inches of snow. Tulsa, 10 to 12 inches. Lawton, 8 inches. Ponca City, 8 to 10 inches. The entire state is under winter storm warnings. Kansas, Wichita, 8 to 10 inches. Hayes, 10 inches. Dodge City, 6 to 8 inches. Kansas City on the Kansas side, 8 to 9 inches. Topeka, 8 inches. Missouri. Kansas City on the Missouri side, 8 to 9 inches. St. Louis, 7 to 8 inches. Springfield, 9 to 10 inches. Columbia, 8 inches. Jefferson City, 8 inches. Arkansas, Bentonville, 12 inches. Fayetteville, 12 inches. Fort Smith, 10 inches. Little Rock, 2 to 4 inches with significant ice. Jonesboro, 6 to 8 inches. Louisiana, Shreveport, 1 to 3 inches with ice. Monroe, 2 to 4 inches with ice. The rest of the state stays rain. Tennessee, Memphis, 2 to 4 inches with significant ice. Nashville, 2 to 4 inches with significant ice. Clarksville, 5 to 6 inches. Jackson, 3 to 5 inches. Chattanooga, 3 to 5 inches. Knoxville, 4 to 6 inches. Kentucky, Louisville, 6 to 8 inches. Lexington, 6 to 9 inches. Bowling Green, 5 to 7 inches. Pikeville, 2 to 5 inches with ice. Paducah, 4 to 6 inches. Indiana, Indianapolis, 8 inches. Fort Wayne, 6 to 7 inches. Evansville, 5 to 7 inches. Bloomington, 7 to 8 inches. South Bend, 3 to 5 inches. Illinois, Chicago, 1 to 4 inches. Rockford, 2 to 5 inches. Peoria, 4 to 6 inches. Springfield, 6 to 8 inches. The southern part of the state gets hit harder than the north. Ohio, Cincinnati, 7 to 8 inches. Columbus, 8 to 9 inches. Cleveland, 5 to 7 inches. Toledo, 4 to 6 inches. Dayton, 7 to 8 inches. West Virginia, Charleston, 4 to 6 inches with ice. Huntington, 5 to 7 inches. Morgantown, 6 to 8 inches. Parkersburg, 6 to 8 inches. Virginia, Bristol, 4 to 6 inches. Roanoke, 5 to 7 inches. Richmond, 3 to 5 inches. Northern Virginia, 4 to 6 inches. North Carolina, Boone, 8 to 10 inches. Asheville, 6 to 8 inches. Winston-Salem, 4 to 6 inches. Charlotte, 2 to 4 inches. Raleigh, 1 to 3 inches. South Carolina, Greenville, 3 to 5 inches. Spartanburg, 4 to 6 inches. Columbia, 1 to 2 inches. Charleston stays mostly rain. Georgia, Atlanta, 1 to 3 inches with ice. Gainesville, 2 to 4 inches. Rome, 3 to 5 inches. Augusta, traced to 1 inch. Alabama, Birmingham, 2 to 4 inches with ice. Huntsville, 3 to 5 inches. Montgomery stays mostly rain. Mobile stays rain. Mississippi, Tupelo, 2 to 4 inches with ice. Jackson, 1 to 3 inches with ice. The rest of the state stays rain. Michigan, Detroit, 3 to 5 inches. Grand Rapids, 4 to 6 inches. Lansing, 4 to 6 inches. Traverse City, 3 to 5 inches. Wisconsin, Milwaukee, 2 to 4 inches. Madison, 3 to 5 inches. Green Bay, 2 to 4 inches. Iowa, Des Moines, 4 to 6 inches. Cedar Rapids, 5 to 7 inches. Davenport, 6 to 8 inches. Sioux City, 3 to 5 inches. Minnesota, Minneapolis and St. Paul, 1 to 3 inches. The storm tracks south of Minnesota, so they get less. Nebraska, Omaha, 3 to 5 inches. Lincoln, 4 to 6 inches. Western Nebraska stays mostly dry. Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, 7 to 9 inches. Philadelphia, 8 to 12 inches. Harrisburg, 9 to 11 inches. Scranton, 12 to 15 inches. Erie, 6 to 8 inches. New York City, 10 to 13 inches, possibly up to 18 inches. Buffalo, 4 to 6 inches. Rochester, 5 to 7 inches. Syracuse, 15 to 18 inches. Albany, 10 to 12 inches. New Jersey, Newark, 10 to 13 inches. Trenton, 9 to 11 inches. Atlantic City, 8 to 10 inches. Maryland, Baltimore, 8 to 10 inches. Frederick, 9 to 11 inches. Salisbury, 6 to 8 inches. Delaware, Wilmington, 8 to 10 inches. Dover, 7 to 9 inches. Connecticut, Hartford, 11 to 13 inches. New Haven, 10 to 12 inches. Bridgeport, 10 to 12 inches. Rhode Island, Providence, 12 to 15 inches. Warwick, 12 to 15 inches. Massachusetts, Boston, 18 to 24 inches possible. Worcester, 15 to 18 inches. Springfield, 12 to 15 inches. Vermont, Burlington, 10 to 12 inches. Rutland, 13 to 15 inches. Montpelier, 12 to 14 inches. New Hampshire, Concord, 13 to 15 inches. Manchester, 14 to 16 inches. Portsmouth, 15 to 18 inches. Maine, Portland, 15 to 18 inches. Bangor, 12 to 15 inches. Augusta, 14 to 16 inches. Colorado, Denver, and the Front Range got snow earlier in the week. This storm tracks east of Colorado, and that covers 40 states with specific forecasts, just like I promised. Now remember, I asked you to comment your location. If you did that, check the replies because I will be updating with more specific information for your area. Here is what you need to understand about the long-range forecast. This is not just one storm. This is the beginning of a prolonged winter pattern that could last weeks. The jet stream has dug into a pattern that is bringing Arctic air deep into the United States. And every time a storm system tries to move across the country, it is going to tap into that Arctic air and potentially produce more winter weather. The next storm system is already showing up on the long-range models, possibly arriving by the middle of next week. It is too early to give specifics, but the setup looks similar to this one. Cold air in place, moisture moving in, potential for another significant winter storm across the south and east. And here is something that should concern everyone. The ground is going to be frozen solid after this. That means when the next storm comes, any precipitation that falls will immediately start accumulating. There will be no ground warmth to melt the first inch or two. Everything sticks. For those of you in the Northeast, you need to pay attention to the extended forecast. The pattern we are in is similar to the winter of 2010 and 2011 when the Northeast got hammered repeatedly with major snowstorms. Boston ended up with over 80 inches of snow that winter. New York City had over 60 inches. This could be shaping up to be a similar winter. Now let me talk about what happens after the storm. The cleanup is going to be massive. Snow removal crews are going to be working around the clock. But here's the problem. When you get this much snow over such a large area, there are not enough snowplows to go around. Priority will be given to major highways and emergency routes. Your neighborhood street might not get plowed for days. Power restoration is going to be slow, especially in areas that get significant ice. When ice brings down power lines, repair crews have to not only fix the lines but also replace poles and transformers. This is time-consuming work. In some rural areas, people could be without power for a week or more. Schools are going to be closed. Many of them will be closed for multiple days. Some districts might need to add days at the end of the school year to make up for lost time. If you are a parent, plan for your kids to be home for at least 3 to 5 days. Businesses are going to close. Many will stay closed until roads are cleared and power is restored. If you work an hourly job, this could mean lost wages. If you own a business, this could mean lost revenue. The economic impact of this storm will be in the billions of dollars. But here is what I want you to remember. We will get through this. Communities will come together. Neighbors will help neighbors. People will shovel each other out. We have been through winter storms before, and we will get through this one. However, and this is important, we need to take this seriously. This is not the time for bravado. This is not the time to prove how tough you are. This is the time to be smart, to be prepared, and to keep yourself and your family safe. So let me recap the key points. The storm is starting now. By tonight, it will be in full force. Multiple states are going to see significant snow. Some areas will see over a foot. Other areas will see dangerous ice. Power outages will be widespread. Travel will be impossible in many areas. This will last through the weekend. Another storm is possible next week. Winter is here for the long haul. If you found this information valuable, and I hope you did, make sure to subscribe because I am going to have multiple updates on this storm over the next few days. I am going to be tracking it hour by hour. I am going to be showing you the radar in real time. I am going to be updating forecast totals as new data comes in. And do not forget, comment your location below so I can give you personalized updates. I read every comment. I respond to as many as I can. I want to make sure you have the information you need to stay safe. Stay warm out there. Stay